they're already introducing the fact that there is now a bridge or a gap between our world and another world. And my question is,
hi all, and welcome to another episode of the WINANDIN podcast, episode 39. I am back. It has been a minute. I was a bit sick and then AWOL, but I'm back now. Of course, I'm joined with my co-host Gabe Hohenstein, and today we have Goblin Reserve. We have the team, the couple, the power couple of Flesh and Blood, the Fab Fam. How are you guys doing?
Oh, I didn't think my head could get any bigger. Apparently it can. Oh, we're doing good. We have no idea why we're here.
No,
we're just...
We're here for dad jokes. That's what I was here for.
What we're hoping is this video is not going to end up like this, and we're not just going to have half our faces. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I like this setup.
Yeah, there you go. It's a good sign.
I think I need to... I don't know which one.
This is our first podcast with 4 guests, 2 of our special guests, all on one camera. So we're dealing with a lot of firsts, and we'll see how it turns out at the end. I'm excited either way. So it's been first I want to say the reason why we have you guys here is because you guys are been one of like the OG creators for YouTube, for Flesh and Blood YouTube content. You guys were definitely one of the first ones that I started to watch when I was starting to look up YouTube, because you guys have been doing it for a minute now.
A few years, I think.
Yeah, a few years now.
I don't know. When did we start?
It has been a
Tales.
minute. Tales.
Well, no, Tales wasn't out yet. We started just before Tales.
You started your short videos around Orlando.
Yeah, just before Orlando, I think. Just before Pro Tour, the first Nats, and I had no idea it was Nats.
No clue.
Had no idea. I was like, why are there 17 different names for this event? I have no idea what's going on. It turned out we were the first Nats.
That's cool. You know what's funny is that was I went to Orlando as well, and that was my first calling that I went to. That was CC, and I played Bravo, and I got stomped by Briar.
Oh, how times have changed.
Yeah. Gabe, how you doing? It's been you held down the fort. I appreciate you doing that. How's it going for you now?
Yeah, life is great. We had some great conversations with some great people, made new friends. Always love that. Other than that, just gearing up for skirmish season and Pro Quest season, because that is at our front doorstep. So drafting, and just enjoying life. So life is good. Yep.
The Bright Lights Pro Quest season is round the corner. We have a few callings now or at least one calling now with the Bright Lights set coming out. Taipei just finished. Azalea won out of all heroes. Cool. We did not get the usual suspect of Lexi this time.
How cool.
Yeah, super cool, especially considering that it was an Azalea Dromai in the finals, which is typically Dromai favored.
And she went through Lexi and Dromai. So like it's not like she avoided the top decks. Azalea got there by beating the top decks.
In the face.
So cool.
Yes.
And then was that the guy? I've been so out of touch with social media, but that was the guy that looked super shocked that he won.
Oh, yeah.
I lost rock paper scissors.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a good one. That was like a
wholesome
feel good moment. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. It makes you kind of, I don't know. For me, when I saw that video, I was like, man, I don't think I would respond too much differently. Like, I would be more in shock than anything else, to be honest.
Especially if it's Nick Butcher, you're like, yeah, I'm sitting down. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not like you beat someone we've never heard of. But
Yeah, so Azalea won. It was a Lexi-dominated meta. She was the most represented into day 1 and day 2. As well as Dromai. So the usual suspects, as you mentioned, were definitely there. And some of the a little bit unusual suspect is we got a Reinhard that did very well going all the way to top 8. So that's pretty cool. We did get another new hero up there. And then we got your typical Uzuri. We usually get about one of those, and then even a Bravo. So it was a fairly diverse top 8 meta.
I don't remember. I haven't been keeping very good track. I just kind of like catch it through my Twitter feed. But I remember seeing a post that Uzuri was like 9-0 at one point.
Wow.
Was that that event?
You know, it could be. I am terrible. Like, I will read these things and then I'll lose them, and I always wonder, like, I should have kept that. So, I should have marked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Flesh and Blood's like biggest and worst fan at the same time, because we have Goblin Reserve and then my account, and I've liked every single one of their posts. I can't tell you how many I've read. I very rarely click the link, I gotta be honest, but they're liked. They're liked.
That's all that matters. All that matters.
Video?
The spooky one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's we'll definitely have to cover that, because that is pretty cool. That's the first time Flesh and Blood's doing that. Yeah, so I think that's about it. So that was the calling. They had a battle hardened that was our first bright lights sealed into draft battle hardened. Max, it was only Teklovosins and Max Nitros in this draft, which is kind of insane that not even one -IO. Yeah.
Well, Max is easy, and you play Teklo if you get equipment. So like
that's that is very true.
I'm an idiot, and even I know that.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. Well, Max did take this one. He was able to overpower Teklovosin in the final. So, just because Teklovosin has a somewhat favorable matchup, we got again, the David Goliath story where David comes out on top. So good job on that.
I would definitely say, like, when I went to my pre-release, and I was playing oh my gosh, Max, because I don't have the brain power for anything else, and I played against a Teklovossin, and I was like, how much life did you gain this game by attaching equipment? And he was like, 12 so far. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's great. I wonder why
up there.
I wonder why I got fatigued.
Yep, that he can do it. That's for sure. He has the most efficient blocks. That's for sure.
Eric, you forgot about one tournament that's happened this weekend.
Okay, go ahead.
We had that age event with the Living Legend format, and Charles Dunn won it on Starvo.
That's true.
That one is important.
Yeah,
I think there was a Battle Lake Frigid event as well. That was an RTI.
Yeah. Yep.
Tournament. That's pretty neat.
And then we have the Battle Hardened Barcelona that will also be this Living Legend format. So I wonder. I think, man, I just wonder, like, is this a format to stay? Is this what we're going to see more and more happen?
I hope so.
Will we eventually get a calling LL format? I'm very curious, very, very curious. It looks fun.
I think it's a neat thing, like, because for someone like me who's garbage and doesn't, I built exactly one CC deck, and I went 0-5 with it. So like my favorite hero is Viserai, and so one day he's gonna Living Legend before I get to play him, and so I'm gonna be happy to just be able to play him in a format like that. So yeah, that's
he's one of the popular ones out there.
He's really good at it to begin with. Like, you don't even have to worry about him Living Legend first.
My wife loves me, so.
Oh man, look at that! Yeah. Well, then you can see him right above your head too. He's doubling down.
Oh yeah, he's up there too. Yeah, he's up there too. But yeah,
what language
pretty
is it?
Sick. German, because
you want to pronounce it for us?
One, yes, it is Viserai Runenblut.
I love that.
Yeah, because the other ones were Lame Rune and Llama Rune, and I'm like, I'm not a
llama's kind of cool.
I'm not a llama rune.
Well, I usually just allow the guests to usually just tell the favorite hero, but that is definitely always what we want to know. I'm taking a tally of all of our guests' favorite hero, and Viserai is. You now put Viserai in the lead. It was Viserai versus Dash.
There we go. There we go. But yeah, I found out something funny actually. I was looking at like the heroes that I love, and I'm obsessed with pink and green. I'm not sure if you noticed, but Viserai was the only pink hero. Well,
he has pink in him. Yeah.
But yeah, he was the pinkest hero that I saw, and I was like, oh, I love that hero. Like that was the hero that I connected with first. And then Icelander came out, and I loved that hero. And then Leviah Redeem came out, and I'm like, I just love Steve Argyle heroes.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Well, the new Max Nitro has well, I guess he has more blue in him, I think.
Yeah, so the thing with that one is it's Hanky Banksy. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's if I'm gonna rock that. I already have the namesake. So.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Oh, I love that.
Well,
What about
yes.
what?
Go ahead, Gabe.
We know his favorite hero, but what's her favorite hero?
Her favorite hero is an empty chair.
Yeah.
We have
That's valid. We can wait for
child
her.
interruptions. Yeah,
That's
we have
all right.
child interruptions right now. She should be back. If I was to guess, like again, we haven't really played a ton of CC. We've only played limited, and so I think her answer, and she doesn't know how to play like Fatigue Oldhim, but she really liked Oldhim, Dorinthia, and Oldhim, Dorinthia, and there was one more, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. But yeah, those are heroes that she said that she likes. Oh, I think she likes Azalea too. But yeah, we don't have a ton of CC experience. So like the type of decks that she's used to are just like, oh, I have a big attack, I swing it, not like block, swing, hammer. You know. So,
Right.
oh,
That's
look,
all
you're
right.
back just in time to answer what your favorite hero is. I'm gonna see how good I did.
Oh, my favorite hero?
Yeah, your favorite hero.
Oh, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in a lot of trouble
Why are you gonna get in trouble?
because I'm straying from our cult.
Oh no!
I am
Oh,
no.
straying.
What made you turn away from Azalea?
Because she wasn't my first favorite.
Okay.
She wasn't one that I
Okay.
became comfortable with, and she wasn't one that I felt fully comfortable with to understand how it worked.
Is there anything that you feel comfortable with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is
Awful. I forgot what her name is.
Dorinthia?
Dorinthia.
Oh my god.
Dorinthia. All right, cool. Put it in the books. You're
That's-
our first Dorinthia.
Blade.
I don't know.
That's one of my weapons.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, perfect. You're our first Dorinthia in the books. I feel like there's more to come. She is very beloved, that's for sure.
mhm.
Just something with the golden hair and the sword, something that does that. Yeah.
Now,
All right.
that is a placeholder until James White gives me a goblin.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Just waiting. Just waiting on my goblin, James.
All right. Well, so that is everything that has happened this weekend. The Calling Taipei was the big one. There was also a battle hard in Brazil. A Katsu won that one. No Lexis in the top 8. They had a very, very interesting meta, not your typical meta, and that's always pretty fun. Love to see those. And love to see that Brazil's getting some love over there too. So Fab is truly, truly international at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think probably the most exciting thing that I've seen just for like getting my hopes up for travel, even though it's probably not feasible, is Japan. Like I have always wanted to go to Japan, and now Flesh and Blood is there, and so it's like,
yeah. They just had their battle hard last week. There's going to be another calling in New Zealand coming up with the new, it's Death Pits, Death Match? Death Arena? Yeah,
Death Match.
Yeah.
I was gonna make my own name up.
Oh, heavy hitters.
You just keep throwing Death something and you'll hit it.
It's heavy hitters, isn't it?
That's
Yep,
it.
that's it. Yep.
I like
just
Deathmatch
found it.
better.
Yeah. So that's coming out in New Zealand coming up. Pretty excited for that. That was actually just announced this last week that we were going to get a new set. I mean, we obviously knew we were going to get a new set, but now we get to know the name. And this seems to be, it has a brute feel to it. So I'd imagine we're going to see some brute love.
Oh, I'm running out of sets that a goblin could be in. Like, Mech is like the perfect place for a WoW style goblin. If they're just going to go feral, then it's got to be, Savage Lands.
Yeah.
If not, I'll never.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? That's actually a very good point. This is one thing I've always wanted more with Flesh and Blood. Just give me more humanoid heroes. They don't have to be humans, right? Like Leviah is really cool, because she's like, this like demonic being
Right.
that was a human, maybe going back to being a human. But like, give me something. I think it'd be so cool if we had like a centaur and you get an extra pair of legs or something. Give me a goblin. Give me more stuff like that. Reinar, he's not human. Give me more Reinars out there.
Right.
What's the other guy's name?
KO.
That
KO.
guy.
I like
KO.
it.
More about him.
We don't
What's
need
going
anything more about him. He's just an orc. He's just an orc. People call
That's
it
as close as you're getting to the goblin so far.
No, it's Grim Feast.
For real.
Grim Feast, the satyr, is the closest
so
thing we've had to
just-
looking like a goblin.
Yeah, he's close. He's close, right? He's like a little.
If you take the horns off, he's a goblin.
Here's my other
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
They're already introducing the fact that there is now a bridge or a gap between our world and another world. And my question is what is that new world going to bring, and what's it going to look like for Flesh and Blood? And then what other, with that new world, is it going to dive into different play formats than what we're used to?
Oh.
Right. Do they follow the same rules as these heroes that we know now? Yeah, it's the possibilities are out there, and it's
PvP
pretty
is
cool.
coming.
I think
PvP
one of
is
the
coming.
I think
I'm
one
so
of the
excited.
craziest
Yep.
the craziest things for me is going to be, are they ever actually going to mess with intellect?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why
They-
even have intellect on a card if everybody's 4 except for Data
Is
Dog?
it right? Yeah. Is there ever going to be more than 4, or
Wouldn't
we go
5 be
back to less?
broken? Like 5, but you can never have an arsenal? Like, how are they going to... I don't know. How do you get around that?
There's a lot of design space, and I am definitely not Brian Gottlieb, so I have no idea. But there is it is fun to think about, and there's like a lot of creativity that is like still yet to be explored, I think. So
That's why I find it interesting that they're going to have the event in New Zealand in January, because they're very guarded on their design team and the teams that help create it, because James Smith himself has said, or I'm sorry,
James Smith?
Sorry.
James Smith? Get out of this room.
John Smith.
But James White has talked about how parts of his team can't come out into like the general public because they're 3 or 4 sets design wise ahead of where the game currently is, and he struggles to not slip up.
He doesn't program.
Yeah,
Could
for
you
real.
imagine it's knowing the future and not ever slipping up? Like,
That'd be so hard. I couldn't.
It's insane.
Yeah, especially because you hear people all the time, like on Twitter, and be like, "Man, when is this hero gonna get some love?" And like in your head, you're like, "It's coming." You know?
That was 2 sets ago, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So true.
Yep. It is very, very interesting. I'm excited. It's one that I would love to go to. They're really hyping it up. It seems more than like other
Yes.
outlets out there. So
It's definitely something we're going to try and make happen. We're going to try and force it because it says once in a lifetime. And what could that possibly mean?
Well, I mean, but
Like-
New Zealand is once in a lifetime. Have you
Yeah, I
seen
don't
those
care.
photos?
Like,
It is beautiful.
What are they going to give the people there? And they said they're celebrating content creators. So, like,
yeah.
Me?
what does it mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Are we part of that?
Exactly. Like, what's our threshold here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh man, yeah, I know. I saw that. They gave us like a package that ended up being the Bright Lights board, but it was like super late. Like we just got it in, and it was after I read about this event.
yeah, we got like the
Ah,
notification
right.
like an hour after. We're like,
Yeah, and I was like, "Ooh, could it be tickets?" But like, oh man, yeah, we'll have to see. That's pretty exciting for sure. Another thing that LSS came out with that's pretty exciting. What we mentioned a little earlier is the special Halloween promos
Mhm.
that
Spooky.
we're getting. Yes, the jack-o'-lanterns. I know this has been a card before.
it was
Yeah.
like the lanterns with the
Something
spectral shields
Yeah.
in
that's
Dynasty.
it.
I think was what it was.
Skylit. Yeah.
It's like Skyfire Lantern or something, right? Or
Yep, Skylit, Skyfire, something like that. Yeah, but yeah, it was that lantern card. Obviously, this looks way cooler.
it looks
Definitely
cool.
one to get some jack-o'-lanterns out there. I think it's cool. I like that Flesh and Blood gets festive. They've had the like Xmas stuff before with the crack baubles and the shitty Xmas gifts and whatnot. So I'm glad that they're exploring the Halloween themes as well.
I agree.
Are we going to theorize the crack bauble? That's my question. Are we going to talk about it? Because the crack bauble continues to crack, but what's in the bauble? What's going to happen when it finally...
Like, didn't they say they were trying to do away with bauble?
But they can't just leave it uncracked.
Yeah, it feels like it's... Yeah, it feels like we haven't... We need to know, right? I'm with you.
Maybe like
it's
a little...
It's cracked for a reason, right?
And it's been cracking more with every set as it comes out bigger and bigger.
Exactly.
It's been giving more cracks, and there's more to it.
Yeah, it's
unintentional.
Bright Lights hasn't given us one. Of course, everything's mechanologist, so we wouldn't expect one. We did get a titanium bauble.
Yeah.
We also got a Christmas bauble, didn't we?
Yeah, but that was just a regular bauble with whatchamacallit on top.
But clearly they're not forgetting about the bauble.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time a bauble was printed?
I got questions.
I don't know.
So many questions.
Yeah, this time I'll say I'm not James White, so I don't know.
Hope it's not us.
I don't know.
Dude, yeah, no, we've got to figure it out. We got to figure it out. All right. Well, I think that's about the recap of as far as like what happened this last week. What we're seeing, and what we got expecting coming our way. Now let's get into you guys. Let's get into the main attraction of the show here. Goblin Reserve. It's been, like we've mentioned, been going out for a while. But there's not like one thing that you guys do. It's all over the place. It's like everything, Flesh and Blood. You even do a few other card games now too. But it's not like just box openings or just vlogging. It's a whole mixture. So I kind of wanted to just, if someone's listening has never like heard about you guys, I kind of wanted to give you guys like the mic here and just kind of explain what it is that your channel is. Because I was trying to figure out something. I was like, man, it's kind of everything. So maybe you guys can help me out.
Well, I would say, first of all, I am absolutely honored that anyone would want us on any show. So thank you so much for having us. I truly, when you said that you've been watching us for a while, I crap myself. Like I still don't like. I don't know. I just feel like people still don't know who we are.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
We feel
it's
smaller,
weird. Like,
and we're good with being small.
Yeah, at events, like I know everybody, but like when it comes to my videos, I'm like, do people watch these?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the channel started. It was just me. I was streaming Star Citizen on Twitch for a while, and I really loved it, enjoyed it. But I didn't have internet, and so we moved out somewhere without internet for about 2 years. And I had like an itch. I wanted to continue to create content, but because I had no internet at home, streaming wasn't feasible. And I was able to use internet elsewhere. So I was like, well, maybe I'll make YouTube videos. And so it started with me. I had never ridden a skateboard, so I was going to try that. So I started with that. And then I was like, you know what? I love nerd stuff. Like, I don't have any nerd friends,
Nope.
but and my wife refuses to play games.
100%.
So I'm just going to find some card games that I like, and I'm just going to open them.
And force me to do things.
No.
Oh, sorry.
That comes later, prisoner.
Oh.
Yeah, she said that in the video. Great, thanks. And so I started opening. I did some videos on some comic books I had bought.
Yep.
I started opening Flesh and Blood, Welcome to Wraith, Arcane Rising.
Yeah.
And then I was heavy into MetaZoo at the time as well. I wish I would have sold everything years ago. But yeah, all that stuff plummeted. But yeah, so then Tales of Aria came along, and I had introduced Amy to Monarch, and I had gotten her to play Magic before by buying her an Angel deck, and so I was like, all she cared about was pretty cards, and so I'm like, okay, Prism, I've got her. Like, I'm going to get her to enjoy something I enjoy, and so I gave her a Prism deck, and so we bought all the Monarch decks, and it didn't matter what deck I played, I couldn't win. There's something about her. Like, I honestly feel like I am a higher level player than she is, but I can't beat her. I can't beat her to save my life. I don't know what it is, but like she consistently just beats me. And it helps that she had the easiest hero to play. block 2, attack with Giant Herald. And when you're Bolton, you just go, oh, this sucks. Like, hope I can put together a big turn to kill you. But yeah, so I got her hooked because the cards were pretty, and she was winning all of the time. So Tales of Aria comes out, and I'm like, hey, I need you to open your sealed pack on camera. She's like, you're not using my face. I'm like, sure, whatever. So she does that, and then I'm like, hey, I want you to be in this video, but you don't have to show your face. I'll just have my face. It'll just be your hands. And then we had the wifey face reveal video, and then then it like kind of just it all steamrolled. We started going to events together, and honestly, the channel is where it's at because she joined it. I've said this many a times. No offense to content creators, but if it was just me, I'm just another fat white guy with a beard. So like, kind of a dime a dozen. You know what I mean? Adding her and the bantering and the back and forth, is what really made the channel. And she even got herself a nickname, Wifey with a Knifey. It was a lot of fun. And it just started with my passion for nerd stuff. I was able to wrangle her in. She actually loved Flesh and Blood. And we've kind of just been going from there. We have started recently posting videos for Pokemon. I'm probably only doing this one set. Yeah. It's 151. We actually have like 9 videos that need to be edited and uploaded. Like
we are so backlogged.
Yeah, we just opened everything. I was not going to wait and release it as everything, so I know we're missing. But yes, we've got a bunch of those videos coming. That's been a lot of fun.
We're staring at 2 cases of bright lights currently behind our
2 cases of bright lights behind the computer. And we tried out Lorcana. We have like just the starter decks.
Oh, that's cute.
We opened 5 packs, and we pulled 3 legendaries, 2 ultras or whatever they're called, supers. So like our luck has been insane on that, but you just can't get it. But that's been fun to open with the kids. And 151, I just got because of nostalgia. I was like, this is where I started as a child. Like, these are my Pokemon. And so I was like, I'm going to buy this set. We're going to open as much of it as we can, see if we can complete a set. And there's a lot more special art variants in that set than you realize. So, it's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Lorcana made me realize that Hank knows nothing about Disney, and it makes me question the foundation of our marriage. So many questions. I don't even know what to do.
Oh my gosh.
It's so sad. We actually watched some Disney movies recently so he could understand certain characters.
Oh my god, no, we didn't. I wanted to watch it. Oh my gosh, whatever. Yeah, but it's just great because you said we're kind of all over the place, and that it's good and bad and kind of scary, honestly. When you have a niche, right? Like, you're kind of pigeonholed into a thing, right? But at least people know you for that thing. They know what to expect. And so like you have like a topic where our topic is us. And like we just feed off of each other, bicker back and forth, argue in a fun way, and it's just us being ourselves. Like, it's easy, right? It's easy to just be yourself. But at the same time, content kind of can get stale. So we're still trying to navigate those waters of, how do we keep our content interesting? Like I said, it's great that our content is us, but it's also our downfall. I see. Because, we're not great at the game. We don't have a lot of knowledge. And so like, that's just, it's like, we are who we are. And when does that stop being, content? I don't know. But, I think that, naturally we just did everything because we love Flesh and Blood. We were brand new. So we did our new player journey through Flesh and Blood. We really opened all the sets as we've gone. We've done pre-releases. We've gone to so many different events. We've been to every US Nats.
Yep. By accident.
So, by accident. It's just been like, honestly, for us, it's more like being a part of a community and like making friends. I mean, the sheer number of friends we have through this game is ridiculous. It's true. I tell a story of, it's so good. I tell a story of how there's these guys I met in in Columbus. I stayed with 9 random people I didn't know, and they're both at Pro Tour Baltimore, and I'm at Pro Tour Baltimore. And at this point, it's probably like our 5th or 6th event. And so I'm going through, and I'm like, hey, this person, hey, that person, hey, this person, hey, that person. And they're like, dude, you're a celebrity. I'm like, dude, it's called networking. Like, I love talking to people, so I talk to people. Like,
hell yeah.
But it's crazy how many people we know and we've made relationships with. It's like the best part, being able to share a journey with my wife, a passion that I love, that I made her passionate about, and then like all we've gotten to make along the way. It's just been crazy. But all of that just to say, like, we don't know what our content holds. We don't know what what we're going to continue to do in the future. So yeah, it's scary. It's scary when your content is you.
The fun part about it being us, though, I find, is that no one, up until the moment they meet us in person, no one actually thinks that we are who we are on camera. I do legitimately attempt to stab my husband at least once a day. That's a normal thing in our life. And so when they meet us in person and they hang out with us, they're like, "You are the same person." And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm not changing anything. This is who we are. We bicker. We are a normal married couple with 2 children that are in such a strange age of exploring life and learning such new things that we're going in 10 million different directions. And every once in a while, somebody got to get stabbed." Yeah. Over the next little while, I do know that I'm going to make at least one conspiracy video. I do have a conspiracy video coming out in reference to Flesh and Blood, so I'm excited about that one. And then the next question is to be a judge or not to be a judge.
Well, that's
That
cool.
is a question. I might be going down the journey of like becoming a judge. So that might be part of channel content coming up as well. We got a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of brewing.
I think there's 2 things that really stands out. You mentioned one, it's Fab Fam, it's knifey with the wifey. It's it's you as the head goblin. With the dad jokes and everything else. There's really not any other YouTube out there that's like it. So you guys, I mean, you say it's your downfall, but it's also like, it is definitely what distinguishes you guys and makes it where it's not, as you mentioned, you're not like I'm a little, I got a little belly, I got a beard. I fit that criteria as well. You're not just like every other, fat white guy with a beard out there. But yeah, so I think that really works for you guys. I totally get it. I'm with you 100%. I'm always thinking like, all right, what can we do to kind of like spice things up or make it a little different? I think that's definitely always a creator thing for sure. And that's great. I think the other thing that I think you guys are iconic for, and I definitely want to hear more about this, is those jerseys. Those Goblin Reserve jerseys.
I wish I had one with me. I really do. So
those things are dope.
Awesome.
They stick out so well. They look cool. I see. It's not just y'all wearing the jersey. I see a lot of people wearing the jersey.
Yeah, there's
how
many are there? There's 10 of us.
10.
Nine or 10 of us.
We're a team.
Yeah.
It's funny. We had two in the at Nats.
Oh yeah, we did. We had 2 competing.
We had 2 competing in Nats. So basically that all goes back to me streaming on Twitch. A long time ago, someone made fun of me for wearing pink, and so I was like, oh, so that's not cool. So I'm just gonna do it. And so pink quickly became one of my favorite colors, because I'm like, if you think that like I'm gonna care what you have to say, and that you say that I can't wear a color because it's feminine, then guess what? I'm gonna embrace it. And then green just happened to be the color of goblins. Green and pink came together, and that was my Twitch channel. It was Hank Jr. But all my emotes are goblins. Because I love goblins. So I was like, what can I call my followers? And like, I'm thinking of what I'm going to call I keep looking down here. The camera's up there. It's very confusing. I know. I've looked at your faces the entire time.
It's hard. I get it.
But so So yeah, I had no followers. I had like just started, and I'm like, I got to know what I'm calling my followers. I'm like that's the kind of preparation that I have when I do things. And so I thought about it, and I was like, Gob Squad. I was like, that sounds like a cool group to be a part of, right? And so yeah, so we were having some things that were supposed to happen that didn't happen, and some things that we want to do that we haven't done yet. And I was like, how do we get this stuff figured out? And so I put out a message saying, hey, we need some help, please. If you're interested in helping us, let us know. And so I created a group, and we originally called ourselves Knights of the Gob Table.
We did.
Again, I have to have names for irrelevant things. But yeah, so we created this group, Knights of the Gob Table, and I think there's 10 of us total.
Yeah.
I think there's 10 of us total. And we were getting ready to go to Vegas, and I was like, you know what? I said, we're not good enough to be on a real team,
Nope.
so let's just make our own arbitrary, pointless team.
No point.
It'll be great.
It'll be hilarious.
And so that's where the Gob Squad jerseys were born. We reached out to Andy Portillo, who's a good friend of ours.
Love that man.
Again, we just
love him.
Yeah, he randomly
genuine.
sent us these sick hoodies that had our logo on it out of nowhere for no reason. And I'm like, dude,
pretty sick.
it's right there. You can grab it.
You want me to?
Is it under something? We reached out to him, and I'm like, hey, dude, let's get a jersey done, because I knew that he had done the feisty locals, and so we reached out to him. We made the jerseys, and then we reached out to everyone in the group, and we said, hey, there's the sick hoodie.
That is cool.
Very simple, but like, oh, it's so comfortable.
He created that,
and he didn't have to do
himself.
that for us.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have to do that for us.
That's awesome.
So that was really cool. But so we reached out to everybody, and we're like, hey, we've created these jerseys. We will pay half of it, of what it costs, if you guys want to wear them, because it's going to be advertisement for us. It means nothing. It's just, we consider you a part of our team. And so if you would like one, let us know. Every single one of them said, we'll buy it. They were like,
Nice.
no, we're not gonna, you don't have to pay half. Like, we understand it's advertising, but we want to support it. So we just gave them to them all at cost. And so there is, I wish I could remember in order by number.
No.
I don't think I can.
No.
I want to, though.
I know you do.
I do. It's hurting my brain.
So-
Can I, though?
I kind of look at them. They are our team. They're not like, so obviously we're not like, oh, we're going to sponsor you to compete, because
Right.
there's
we
only two of them
ain't got
that
no money,
compete.
right?
But they're kind of like the people we can bounce anything off of.
Yeah.
We have a weird thought. We have a weird idea. We need some guidance on something. We're going to go into this group that we have on Discord with these people and be like, listen, this is what's going on.
Right.
Give me your honest input. And we don't have to worry. That input is honest.
Yep.
It is so raw and unfiltered that it's what we need.
Yep.
And it helps to guide us a lot when we're like, which direction we want to go, what are our thoughts on this, and that's those friendships have been amazing.
Yeah,
those memories are hilarious.
Yeah, we've definitely had some things come up where we were in like a pretty bad spot, and they helped lift us up and really help us through that. So it's really cool. I don't know if they're honestly pretty expensive, so I don't know if they'll ever be an item that we're able to sell. But I love the jerseys.
I think they would sell. I don't know how many people, but they're cool.
And there's always the diehard fans. They're awesome.
I think as the Gob Squad grows, there might be more that become produced.
I think maybe like at a minimum, maybe we could do T-shirts. I just don't know how minimum ordering works with that kind of stuff when you're specializing it. But I do think it's cool to be. I like it kind of reminds me of just like being like the underdogs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're a bunch of nobodies, but like you're all united under being a nobody. And so it's like it's super cool to just be like, yeah, look at me, like I'm a part of the Gob Squad, and like what is that?
If you don't know,
yeah, if you don't know, you don't know.
If you know, that's it.
Yeah, they were super sweet, and the best part about her jersey is that. We had I actually got to go back to Anna Border 22 on Twitter. She when I went to Pittsburgh, I saw that she was making crafts, and I was like, "You have to make me a shirt." And so she designed a shirt that had wifey in cursive, but the knife was the I. And so on her jersey, we carried that over. So it's W knife. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
good.
it's super, super sweet.
That's cool.
Wifey with the knife. Yeah, it's so awesome. That's like my favorite thing. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I don't know. It's one of those things where it's hard to know, especially at our size. We're not very big, like what we can and can't monetize because we can't afford to just sit on a bunch of product.
Right.
And it's like, it's hard to know, like, do people actually care about our merchandise or not? I know we've got good colors. I know we've got a great logo. So it's just like, what can we actually do that will sell? Because like our playmat that we made, I thought was incredible.
Which one?
The
One or two?
the number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, number 2. But the problem is that Flesh and Blood is so saturated with playmat.
It's true.
They don't sell. But I mean, like this was like, it's super clean. You know, colors pop. It looks so good. But they've just kind of sat. Like I think we had like 10 sell right away, and then they just kind of dropped off the playmat. But when playmats are, you know, a dime a dozen nowadays, with them being released for every Flesh and Blood event. What's this one? Oh, this one's so good. This one like this one sold out, but this
that one's
this
sick.
is the original. I love this playmat so much. And I don't know if the story behind this one is this was my journey through cards, and so I wanted a goblin, and then every card on his jacket, like he's a watch salesman, every card on his jacket is my origin story of cards, and then they're goblinified. So the bottom left is what is it? Black waterflower. Yeah. Black waterflower. Then it's what's the next one? Big Head White Dragon, maybe?
Yeah.
Or is it a Pokemon? I don't know. And then there's Charred Lizard, as in Charizard. Then there's Black Magic Man.
Yep.
There is no. Black Magic Man is Dark Magician. Good try.
Dark Magician.
And then would you shush?
Sorry,
I'm gonna smack you.
Squirrel.
And then then it's Hanko the Gob Boss. Hanko the Gob Boss. And then it's Heart of Fine Gob.
Yep, I know that one.
Ruby the Taco Keeper.
Tacos.
Ruby the Taco Keeper.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. I think there's one more that I'm missing. But yeah, it was just like how I went through card games. And so we had them all done. And there were only 25 of those that were sold. And we planned on doing a reprint. But I found that even though I love that playmat, I don't enjoy playmats without
same.
Zone. Yeah. I love Zone. And so the idea before I realized that clean playmat was going to bomb was that I was going to reach out to the original artist, and every card was going to be changed to Flesh and Blood. So every card in his jacket was going to be Flesh and Blood, and then it was going to have Flesh and Blood zones. And that was going to be the Flesh and Blood Goblin playmat. However, sales bombed on the clean one, and the artist got picked up by a studio.
He did.
So
our original artist now works for a studio.
Yeah, so that's like great for him, but really sucked for us because that was my goal, was to get those get that redone and just Flesh and Blood. And I wouldn't have cared if they sold or not because I love that art.
We love
so
our own
much.
stuff.
I love that art so much.
That's good. You gotta like your own stuff.
I didn't even get there. What did I do? Did I derail this whole conversation?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that works. I mean,
our child.
No, we were talking about the jerseys, and then it got to that point. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. We were talking about merch and why we don't have merch right now.
Yeah.
So I think I think that parlays so kind of decently. Like, you're talking about your online store, you're trying to sell those playmats and so on. I know before you guys have done review videos for like the BCW containers, the shipping sleeves, and then I think I've seen you talk about before the extra product you open, you try to sell. I've even seen you guys try to sell playmats on Twitter. I just want to know, like, how has that gone for you? Like, how well has it gone? And if so,
not great.
What are your, like, fair enough?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I wish I could move that. I'm not going to move the camera because I don't want to have to reset it up. But if I could turn the camera to the desk you would see there are piles of cards. They're all in their set, but they're not organized.
No.
And so there are probably cards that we need to sell.
100%.
And I told my wife, again, I plan everything out. When we decided that the channel was going to go from I Hank Jr. to, hey, you're a part of this now, we need to rename it. I came up with a store name first. I was like, we're going to sell all this excess product. I have sold exactly 0 cards. And we're going to have this website where we can do that. And so I was like, all right, let's do this. So we started thinking of I thought of every name for a store, right? And it had to be fancy. So I was looking. I found this perfect one. I don't even remember what it was. It was like Goblin something. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. And so I'm, going to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, going to all the different things. And I find it. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. It's in Florida too. Oh, man. Oh, it's an adult sex toy thing. So I'm like, yeah, we're not using that one.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks too because it was such a, I don't even remember what the word was, but it was really cool. So
we're going to make them have to edit the
then
video.
we found,
We're talking about that stuff.
Anyway, so then we found
That's whatever.
Goblin Reserve. And I was like, man, that is a cool flipping name. And I was like, do we just rebrand everything Goblin Reserve? That sounds really cool. And so, we rebranded everything Goblin Reserve. The first item that went up on the store was, I think it was actually Rudy, the Rudy guy, the
Gem Keeper.
Rudy Gem Keeper.
Yeah, the Gem Keeper kit. But they were $420, $690, and they were coming soon. They never did go on the website. And then some Tales of Aria decks that never went on the website. The first thing that actually sold was the Goblin playmat. I called it "If I Ain't Got It, You Don't Want It."
Yep.
Is what I called the watch salesman, and that one sold out. And then we released tokens, which I was really proud of. But again, I guess they're just not something that people are willing to buy.
I like the tokens. I thought they looked cool. I really like the tokens.
They're super high quality, but they just weren't selling. I think I actually have them right here. But yeah, so those didn't sell, but that was my goal was to print every single token in existence and make it Goblin. And so that was my plan, and it just never came through, unfortunately. I think these are actually, these are the alpha ones. So these are actually business card stock. Cool. So I don't know where the glare is at. Yeah, so you've got your Aether Ashwing, little goblin flying on a Ashwing. You've got your Frostbite. He's stuck to a ice cube or block of ice with an energy potion sliding down the hill. Then you've got Rune Chant, the guy I took Swarming Gloom Veil and I forget what the blade, Spellblade Assault or something like that, and I was make it so it's attacking him. And then this was the most controversial one. This was the most controversial one that was drawn, and I had to redo it. So this originally was a fat goblin chick. And I was like, the last thing I need is people getting bent out of shape because it's a fat chick. I was like, it's a goblin. But the way he drew it, it was hilarious. And it may be a playmat in the future. So it's, Seismic Surge. And so, the plan was that we were going to print every single one of them. But again, they just ended up being better as giveaway stuff. And unfortunately, that's what happened. But I did reach out to the artist. Unfortunately, I lost my job recently, but I had reached out to the artist who did those, and I was like, hey, I want to start getting these going again. If no one buys them, I don't care. I want them for myself. And so I was going to reach back out to him, but that kind of got delayed. So I still think I want to do it. If nothing else, just to be like, hey, I met you at an event. Here's some tokens. Because the back of them have a QR code, goblin with they're super sick. The back of them are super sick. I wish I had one. Those were the alpha, so I don't think they have it, but cool. Yeah, those came about because at Pro Tour New Jersey, I brought business cards. I actually have one here. I just started handing them out at the event.
Nice.
It was how does this work? How do pro people do this?
There you go. Yeah.
And then so it just had oh gosh dang it. Get your face out of here, Amy. Yeah, so it just had our socials and stuff, and I was just handing them out at Pro Tour New Jersey, and I was like, hey, Like, I'm Goblin Reserve. Like, check out our channel. Like, and we actually got a few followers from it. So
It worked.
Sure.
I was like, how can we make something to sell that's also a business card? So that's where we came up with the tokens, where the back is actually a QR code, but it looks really clean. It looks really nice, and yeah.
I like it.
So, to circle back to the original question,
I talk a lot. I'm sorry.
there is a store that is technically attached to Goblin Reserve's name, a business. And the goal eventually is to actually put on cards and such like that onto the website for sale and other things that we have, because we do have excess of stuff. But right now, it's just not a priority. We're trying to grow our brand and our channel and just us as people. Yes, Hank did lose his job, but this also allowed us as a family to change things up. And I was able to make some changes in my job to where Hank can be a full-time stay-at-home dad with our children.
Cool.
And that was really important to us as well, to allow flexibility for taking the kids to and from places and doing things like that. So it kind of changed the dynamic over the last 2 months, and it's been really nice. So that just means there's going to be a lot of growth and changes with Goblin Reserve over the next few months as a result of that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're excited. Like I said, we're excited and terrified because
So I got another little random question that kind of tacks on to that. I don't know how relevant it is, but at one point, I really should have pulled up Twitter before this. You guys were selling like a list of playmats.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever sell out of all those playmats, or how did that
No,
go?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, we
Some of those playmats were like crazy good pricing, and I just didn't have money to buy any.
I posted them all at like 20% off of list price or something like that. Let me see. Playmat rack.
That is the rack.
Oh, cool.
That is currently.
You got to use your hand. You got to put your hand up first. Let it focus on your hand, then put the phone in front of my hand.
That doesn't work.
It should work, but it's
It
not
doesn't.
working. But anyway, it's a wine rack with a bunch of playmats on it.
That's sitting behind us right now.
Yeah, so we have sold only 3 off of that list.
Yeah.
No, 4. Sorry. Gambler's Gloves, Gaze the Ages, Fine Center, and Herald of Protection. But we've got Sink Below, Illuminate, Channel Thunderstep, Signed by Mark Poole, Fulminate, Pulse of Old Haven, Film of Draw My Ash, Artist Fractal Replication.
See, I like the Draw My one. I thought that was cool.
The Pits, Ground of Providence,
like
LSS Book Cover, LSS Swirling Mist, and some Metazoo crap.
Shout off on Eric there. He loves you all. We got him for this podcast, at least for a good chunk. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, I thought the playmat stuff was great. Especially even the tokens and everything you guys done. I've always loved it. It's always stood out to me, which I've always really enjoyed, especially those tokens. I made
it a point that, if I was going to expect people to buy anything from me from a nobody, I was going to make sure that the stuff I put out was the highest possible quality. So that playmat with the goblin on it, I reached out to an artist and I got a splash art level art done for that playmat. I made sure that it was highest possible quality. For the a second playmat we did, I went minimalistic because I know that there's an overflow of art playmats, but there's none for like minimalistic people. Yeah. And so I saw the Min-Max Games one, and I was like, "Yo, Peter, that thing is sick."
Realm
and
Games
so
is nice too.
I was like, "Let me just create my own version of that Goblin Reserve." And that was my idea, and I just reached out to someone that is better at Photoshop than I am, and had them slap my idea on there. And then the tokens. I want to say each art at the time cost me like $40. So like, that's each art that I've had commissioned at that. And I'm sure it's gone up since then, but so it's nothing I do is cheap. I said, I want this to be funny and super high quality. And, the guy absolutely crushed it on the tokens. It's just,
listen,
there's just not a market for it currently.
If LSS isn't going to give us the goblins, we'll give ourselves the goblins.
The
cave eventually put the pressure and give us the goblin that we have been asking for, one way or another.
If a goblin ever comes out as a hero, are you going to just have to main play that hero no matter what the format is, you're playing the goblin?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Good. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I don't care if it's a Rudy style goblin where it's.
I would love a Rudy goblin. I love Rudy in general.
I will play it in every format. I will be John, and I will take it to events and say, "Hey, I'm the goblin guy. Let me play this deck."
Good.
Because I don't care. Like want a goblin so bad. But the problem is, because I love high quality, I can't afford to have an artist draw me, a rendering of every single hero in the game, because I would. If I had endless amounts of money, there would be a goblin that had a Dawnblade with, blonde hair. I would, like there would be a goblin for every hero.
I love that. I would love that.
Y'all are just lucky I don't have money, because if I did, there would be a goblin for every hero.
Oh man, one day we'll get there. Oh man, another thought on the goblins. So what? I guess you love goblins. That's clear. We love this. What drew your love for goblins? Is there any background lore? Or
honestly, it's weird because I think about the things of my childhood, and it's just like you think of Dragon Ball Z. What do you think my favorite hero was, or my favorite character was?
Yeah, I don't want to say I haven't seen Dragon Ball Z, but I can't really say I have.
Piccolo. Piccolo is a green guy with pointy ears.
I know what he looks like. Yeah, now they say it. I never seen him. I know what they look like. Yeah.
My favorite Star Wars character. What do you think it is?
Yoda.
Green guy.
There it is.
With pointy ears. I loved Gremlins as a kid.
Gremlins is so good.
With pointy ears. So I don't know why. But I've always just kind of been drawn to goblins, and the first actual true goblin that I had was a goblin pre-con deck of Magic.
Yeah, Magic.
Totally.
And then I had a buddy that wanted to get me into Magic. It was like 20. I don't know. It was early teens of 2000, and he was like, "Oh, you need to play this Magic format." And I'm like, "I don't play Magic. It rotates. It's dumb." And he was like, "No, there's this format called Elder Dragon Highlander." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." I said, "If you can make me a deck with all goblins, then I'll play it." And like most people that play Magic, he wrote the list out of his head and created a deck.
Franco was there.
Yeah, Franco was there. And so yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know where it began. But when I look back at my childhood and I look at characters that I've enjoyed, they've always kind of been like.
I love that though. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah. So yeah, goblins.
So do you have a goblin tattoo then?
No. I really wanted to get our logo. Done,
Totally.
but it's an awkward one. I mean, it looks really cool. It would just look awkward on skin. And
fair.
I'm very like I was saying, I'm very picky when it comes to art, and so I would spend way too much money, and that's the reason I've only got one tattoo. Because I would want to. I would want to go to the guy on Instagram. I have a whole sleeve idea. But it would cost a lot of money, because I would go to those TikTok people that do the really good anime tattoos.
Yeah, those are so cool.
It would be my childhood. It would be Raphael. It would be the Green Power Ranger. It would be what else? I just lost my brain. Wolverine, Hulk, Batman. I would have a whole sleeve of just my childhood on my arm. Yeah, it would have to be Charmander. How did I forget Charmander? But yeah, it would be an entire sleeve of just super high quality art, and that would cost.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, I'm more of an add as I go, so I just add pieces to my arm as I go, and I'm about to start my other arm and probably do a spine. Cool. So
I just have to point it out in case anyone is watching, and I've noticed it, and it's super creepy back there. That right there,
the random bear.
That guy's name is Tinsel, and I've had him since I was under the age of 7. I don't know how long. But I've had him for 30 plus years.
Part of the family.
It's creepy that he's back there, and I just noticed him. So I'm like, hey.
He's hanging out.
This is America.
Can you put that away, you
I've had it for a few years because I stole it from Hank.
Oh, man. I love it.
You're doing
Is there anything else that we didn't cover, or you guys want to talk about before we start wrapping things up?
I don't think so. I think I've blabbed long enough that people are probably pretty sick of hearing me talk.
Oh no, never. Podcasts are awesome just to chat and hang.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything. I think I think just the only thing is it's just that people don't realize, even though our content isn't like super highly edited, I think often people take for granted how much work things are and how passionate we truly are. We've been blessed to have 3 spoilers, and we heard some negative things because we had lower sub counts when we got them.
Yeah.
And, I think the videos we put out were incredible. And so it's just like, people need to understand that content creation is hard. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. And the fact that we've been able to stick through it as a married couple with 2 young kids, and the fact that we're still going despite all the challenges we face, it's like, just respect content creators. It's a lot of work. And, that like and comment really go a long way.
They do. That retweet.
Just any kind of interaction. If you enjoy someone, make sure that you let them know by commenting or liking it, because content creation's hard, and it's honestly hell on your mental health. So that's all I would say is that, like, just leaving it at that. Like, if you enjoy a content creator, make sure they know, because it's hell. It's not easy. You don't just post a video and get thousands of views. No. Sometimes your videos suck, even though you put a lot of work into them. And so just respect the grind that everyone goes through.
Where can everyone find you?
Like I said, I like to plan ahead. So Goblin Reserve everywhere.
Yes.
Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere is Goblin Reserve. I'm iHink Jr. everywhere for the same reason. And then she's a bunch of random stuff.
So I think I'm Amy Lee 14 on Twitter.
I think that's Twitter. Yeah.
At some point, I got Twitchy Elf somewhere. I think that might be my Discord and like something else.
Yeah.
Social media, I'm just me. I don't have a social media for our content creation. And so if you find me, you find me. But if you're mean to me, you're only gonna get my hands.
TikTok. TikTok as well.
I've gotten in trouble on TikTok.
We've been posting shorts there as well. Goblin Reserve.
Shorts are awesome.
I started posting content for Goblin Reserve on my private page. And Hank's like, "You're blowing up. That's great. Good job. Put it on Goblin's page."
Yeah, she posted like a great recap of freaking Pro Tour Baltimore or Vegas, and puts it on her own TikTok. I'm like, "What are you doing? We're Goblin Reserve. You're stealing our views."
Oh man,
I am on TikTok, but that's Twitchy Elf on TikTok. I know that one. So
totally. Well, I think we'll probably wrap it up here soon. If that's all right with y'all, I think it's been a great chat. We've gone over a lot of great things, heard lots about you guys, which is just awesome to hear. Hopefully we get to see each other at an event soon, give each other a high five, hug, whatever it is. And it's just
absolutely,
it's always great just to connect with people over the internet.
We hug.
Yeah, so I just really appreciate it.
I'm a big hugger. If you try and shake my hand, I'm going to slap it and hug it.
Well, thank you everyone for listening, watching, wherever you're at. We always do appreciate it greatly. We'll have another podcast coming up very soon, I would imagine, with another excellent guest. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you in the next one.